Songs of praise comes from Pembrokeshire at 4:15. Now, BBC One Scotland Sports Scene is live from Fir Park. It's Motherwell v Hearts.
This could be something quite sensational. That is special. That is outstanding. What a brilliant strike that is. Oh, yes! Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a finish. The season of their dreams.
What a week of weather we've had. A spell of extreme weather.
A red weather alert is active.
We've had further disruption, further snow.
Travellers are facing another day of disruption. Motorists are still being warned not to drive unless it's necessary.
That much talked about beast from the east has swept across the country, taking no prisoners. But then the William Hill Scottish Cup takes some stopping as well. 2 quarter-finals played yesterday. Number 3 is here at Fir Park. We're live with Motherwell against Hearts. Stephen Robinson's Motherwell have already been to 1 cup final this season. It would be some achievement to make that a double. And they know beating Hearts today would guarantee a return to Hampden anyway for another semi-final. The last time these two met in the Cup was 10 years ago. A young Ross McCormick's penalty was the only goal of a 4th round replay.
And Motherwell have the breakthrough.
Hearts are enjoying their best Scottish Cup run since winning the competition 6 years ago. And they're a team transformed since Craig Levein stepped back into the hot seat. They've lost only twice in nearly 4 months. And those 2 defeats were at Ibrox and Celtic Park, so Hearts are in some run of form at the moment, and this promises to be closely fought. Motherwell against Hearts for a place in the semi-finals, live on the BBC. Welcome to you from our cosy little studio beside the Fir Park playing surface. Maybe a little bit too cosy, to be honest, when we first stepped in. And these two have been flinging off the layers of thermals, and you'll see a little bit of condensation on the glass, which might have something to do with the hot air that's being spouted in the course of this show as well. Stephen Thompson, Michael Stewart, and a massive Hearts turnout behind us here, Michael.
Impressive.
They've sold out their 4,800 allocation.
It's impressive, isn't it? I think, what we're led to believe is there's going to be more Hearts fans here than Motherwell fans. So it just goes to show you the level of support that Hearts have got. They're a massive club, and as we heard there, the furthest they've gone in the competition since they won it 6 years ago. So it's a good opportunity for Hearts to get into a semi-final, but it's going to be a very, very tight and difficult game here at Fir Park.
It's quite clear from the match programme how Motherwell feel about this. We've been to Hampden this season. We want to go again. Stephen, some incentive, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, they did so well to get to the League Cup final, and even within the final itself, I thought they played very, very well. They're in confident mood. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, keeping 3 clean sheets. Their home form has been generally good this season, but like Michael says, I don't think there's an awful lot between the sides.
Motherwell and Hearts both have special Scottish Cup memories. It was 27 years ago that Motherwell won the competition, and Hearts have taken the trophy back to the capital 3 times since then. Which of them, I wonder, is heading for this season's semi-finals? Chris McLaughlin has been talking to Craig Levein, and firstly, Stephen Robinson.
Stephen, it's the same 11 who defeated Dundee last week. I'm assuming that was a fairly easy decision to make.
Yeah, it was. We didn't play particularly well against Dundee, if I'm honest. But our recent form, we've won 5 out of 9 since we came back from the break. So there's no need for any real radical changes. But we have got boys chomping at the bit to get on from the bench.
What do you expect today? It has been nip and tuck between the sides most of the season. You expect it to be tight again today?
Yeah, it will be. There's been nothing in the sides. We beat them here, they beat us, and then we drew in the last minute there. So it's been down to a set player and individual error at times. So there won't be a lot between the sides. They'll be organised. Craig always has them organised, but we'll be up for the battle.
You've been to 1 final already this season. How much of a taste has that given you for Hampden?
But it certainly gives you motivation to get back there again. I've said numerous times it raises the profile of the football club. It raises the profile of individual players. Where they're attracting a lot of attention. So in terms of how big it is for us, it's a huge game for us today in terms of taking the club forward.
And there is something special about the Scottish Cup, isn't there?
Yeah, the atmosphere, and credit to Hearts, have brought a big crowd down with them as well. Live on TV. So it's a great game to look forward to.
Good luck today.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you.
Craig, a few changes for you this afternoon. I'm assuming most of them forced.
Yeah, some. We've also got one or two players who are playing today who have got little niggles. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we get through without any more problems.
And it's a debut as well for the Canadian Marcus Coutinho. What should we expect from him today?
He's actually been doing very well since he signed for us. Then he had a fairly bad knee injury. He was out for a fairly lengthy period of time, just at the point where he was about to get involved in the first team. So he's been slow to come back from that. He's been out on loan at Berwick and done well there. And he's ready to play.
It's been pretty nip and tuck between both sides this season. Do you expect similar today?
Yeah. I can only say yes because the games are always tight, and Motherwell have done really well this season. They've got a way of playing that they all understand, and it works for them. And that's been apparent. They've already been at one cup final, and we're coming here aware of their capabilities.
Yeah, given the feel-good factor that's been around Hearts at times this season, progression in the Scottish Cup would make that worthwhile and special, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's difficult for us to win the league, and until Celtic and Rangers go away to England or something like that, then it's always going to be difficult. So this cup competition's one that we've got a very good history with, and I would like that to continue.
Craig, thank you. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Craig Levine's team will take a bit of breaking down, you would imagine. What Motherwell will hope, Stephen, is that they can get the ball into the wide areas and supply that penalty box.
It's a definite theme of their play. Generally they go back to front. They're very unapologetic about that. They'll look for a striker and then they'll try and work the ball into wide areas. And interestingly, 2/3 of their goals this season in the league have come from these shaded wide areas. The good thing about them is when they do finally get deliveries into the box, they get numbers in the box. You see here against Ross County, 3 in the box. It gives the wide man options to hit, even if his cross isn't that good. When you've got players in there, it gives you a much better opportunity to score a goal. Here again, you see into the striker's feet. This time Bowman takes it out wide, and they're trying to get into the shaded area that we point out here. And then when it does come into the box again, 3 in the box again. And that's vital, and you give yourself such a better opportunity to score a goal when you've got numbers in there. And the players in the box know that it's coming in. This one, long, they don't win the first ball, but this is another feature of the play. They try and win second balls. So there they are picking up the second ball. Where do they want to put it? Of course, out into this wide area again. And as we see now, 3 men making the box once more. And it's a huge feature of their play. And with Hearts playing a back 3 this afternoon, you would think that we're trying to exploit the gaps in behind the centre halves of Hearts in these areas.
It's always helpful when you get an own goal and defender sticks in the back.
It does help, but there's the man that will be hoping to get that supply from the wide areas, Curtis Main. He scored against Hearts already in a short time at Motherwell, but what a job he had right from the start to try to replace Louis Moult.
Yeah, it was a huge task, but I think I've been impressed with him. He's made an impact. It was always going to be a difficult role to fill. But Louis Moult missed the last couple of games of his career at Motherwell with injury, and they looked short. Curtis Main's come in, and I think he's been an effective player. He's strong, he's physical, he's a platform for Motherwell to get up the park. Where you saw that last clip there against Ross County, and he's going to have a big game today. He's going to have a big game, playing up against the 3 centre backs of Hearts. And it'll be a tough task up there, but he's somebody that I've been impressed with so far.
Yeah, Suter, Hughes and Berrat's a really impressive back 3. No surprise that when the Ian Cathro experiment went badly wrong, Craig Levine in rebuilding built from the back.
Well, you see there's a back 4 in place, and then the 2 guys that were highlighted in the wide areas, they're the wingers. As soon as you think you get through the back line, there's always somebody else in there to fill in and make sure that they don't get breached at the back. This is an instant where there's no structure, there's no setup, but look how quickly Hearts recover. This is up against Motherwell again. Look, they're trying to get into that wide area. 2v2, Hearts closing down its source, making it difficult to throw the ball in, and when they eventually do get a header, there's a defender up tight and making sure they don't get a free header. This is another breakaway against Hearts. But look, as soon as Hibs do break away, the back three's in place. They don't overcommit. It's very difficult to get in behind and catch Hearts unawares. And you know, this game here today, you see Motherwell, the theme of their game is to try and get into the wide areas. They're going to try and get down the sides of these centre-halves. Christoph will probably play on the left-hand side, so he's going to have a big role to play. But as we just saw in the Hearts clips, even when you do break and counter on them, they're very well structured and they're difficult to break down.
So we're saying it's going to be 0-0 then, Mikey?
Well,
Motherwell are good at getting into the box, Hearts are good at getting it out of the box. Is this just a cancel each other out?
Are you two trying to talk this game
well,
up
I'm thinking
already?
there might well be a suitor today that sticks it in the back of the net like Harry did for Ross County, and Motherwell get an own goal. It's going to be tight, there's no doubt about it. But you're thinking that, you know, as I said, Curtis Main's got a big role to play for Motherwell, and the Hearts back three are going to be difficult to breach. It'll be a tight game.
I think a big miss for the Hearts team is Dimitri Mitchell not making it. Yeah. He gives them such athleticism and such a threat down that left-hand side. We've obviously not seen Godinho play. We presume he's going to play in that position today. See if he offers the same threat offensively.
I wonder if Alec McLeish will be here today. The Scotland manager has been taking in quite a few Scottish games, as many as he can of late, and I just wonder as well whether Christophe Berra, who was central to the rebuilding of Craig Levein, might be a centrepiece for the defensive formation that Alec McLeish comes up with.
I'd imagine so. I think Christophe will definitely be in the squad. I would play him. For me, he's been the best defender in Scottish football this season. I know his partner alongside him, John Souttar's, had a lot of plaudits from his manager as well, but I think he's been helped by Christophe so much. You know, having the experienced player beside the inexperienced player. He's come on a lot under Christophe Berra's stewardship beside him at centre-half.
This game today, you know, for Christophe, he's got to make sure that the Hearts team are right up for it, because we've said it's going to be tough, it's going to be tight, but it's a massive game for Hearts. You know, there have been an upturn in results since Craig Levein came in, but in the last 5 in the league, they've only won 1. They've, if you add in the league game against, the cup game against St Johnstone, there's an indifferent bit of form in the last 6 games.
So there's different ways of twisting the statistics.
There's a, you know, the last sort of month or so has been a little bit indifferent. My point I'm making is this game's huge, because if they win it, it continues the momentum of progress. If they get knocked out, then all of a sudden it's what else have they got to play for?
Well, and
in the league, they've got this massive game coming up against Hibs next Friday, so this is a huge game to create that, you know, momentum going into that Hibs game.
And not only that, Motherwell and Kilmarnock are breathing down their necks for that 6th spot as well. So there's a lot to, you know, play for Hearts and for Motherwell as well. Motherwell on the cusp of having an absolutely outstanding season. If they get to another semi-final, they're pushing for that top 6 spot. They've already been in one final. It could be a really memorable season for the club.
Is this a day for Nadir Chifchi maybe to show what he's made of? He's been in the wilderness really for the last couple of years. He scored against, I watched him scoring against Partick Thistle here, his only goal so far. This could be the stage, should be the stage really for him to flourish.
Well, it's a great opportunity for him to come and play at Motherwell, and you know, these sorts of games are a perfect opportunity. You know, you've got the live TV cameras here, everybody's watching. It's a perfect setting, a perfect game for him to go out and show what he's capable of. He's definitely a very talented player, but he needs to turn up in these big occasions.
He needs to bring it on a more consistent basis. You know, he's only scored 1 goal since he's came to Motherwell. This is a pivotal moment in his career. He needs to be bringing it on a weekly basis to get his career back on track. And so far, I'd say there's mixed reviews of his performances.
They've got a win each and they've got a draw this season when the two of them have come face to face. If the game in hand is won, there's only a point between them in the Premiership. It all points to a match that isn't going to end 3-0 either way. It's not going to be like that.
Well, it might end 3-3.
Let's hope so. Hopefully it's end to end.
I prefer that to your 0-0.
That was Tomo's prediction.
No, it wasn't. You know, you look at the forward lines for both teams. You look at Hearts, Naismith and Lafferty. Lafferty's had an excellent season. He leads the line so well, but he's got a great number of goals for Hearts this season as well. Naismith up there beside him. They definitely carry a threat. We've talked about Motherwell's threat. Hopefully we get an end-to-end cup tie.
We'll get the thoughts again of Stephen and Michael at half-time, but we are just about all set to go here at Fir Park. Celtic, of course, already through to the semi-finals after that 3-0 win against Morton yesterday. Kilmarnock and Aberdeen will go to a replay a week on Tuesday. I think that one is at Rugby Park. That should be very interesting indeed. Rangers Falkirk is later, after which will be the semi-final draw. You will get all of that on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. But right now, our sole focus is on quarter-final number 3. Will this one go to a replay? It wouldn't be the craziest notion you would imagine. It's Motherwell against Hearts. It's live on the BBC, and Billy Dodds is alongside match commentator Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Rob, and good afternoon to you from North Lanarkshire. And as Rob says, the third William Hill Scottish Cup quarter-final, and a very intriguing match-up here as Motherwell prepare to take on Heart of Midlothian in the 14th Scottish Cup meeting. Motherwell have the upper hand. They've won 6 to Hearts 3. However, it was the Jam Tarts who won the last time they met at the quarter-final stage of the competition. That was in 1987. It needed a replay here at Fir Park. John Robertson scored in both games, including the 1-0 success here in that replay. No real surprises in the Motherwell team, which is Trevor Carson between the sticks. He has been a real find for Stephen Robinson, wearing the number 1. It's a back 3 for the Steelmen: Kipre, Aldred and Dunn across the back line. They'll have Cadden and Tate in the wide area as the skipper Carl McHugh, alongside the impressive youngster Alan Campbell, and a front 3 of Tanner, who has scored in the last 2 rounds, Nadir Chiefchi supporting Curtis Main, who of course had the big boots of Louis Moult to fill here. John McLaughlin, the Hearts keeper, has been linked with a potential Scotland call-up in the newspapers today. He is in the Hearts goal. Suter, Hughes and Berra form another 3 at the back. It'll be Conor Randall playing on the left-hand side, and we think with Marcus Godinho, who replaces Demi Mitchell. It's a big afternoon for the debutant, the Canada under-20 international. Lots of experience in that front 2 of Stephen Naismith and Kyle Laverty, who are both used to winning silverware during their time at Rangers. 35-year-old Andrew Dallas, whose dad Hugh took charge of 4 Scottish Cup finals, is the man in the middle today. He made his European debut this season, presiding over 2 Europa League group matches. Just about ready to go here at Fir Park. Motherwell in the claret and amber will shoot towards the towering south stand, full of Hearts fans today. The Jambos in their change colours, the navy going right to left towards the Cooper stand. It was an emotional time for Motherwell the last time these two met in the Scottish Cup, a 2-2 come from behind draw at Tynecastle Park. It was their first match after the death of Scottish Cup legend Phil O'Donnell. It was they who would win the replay thanks to Ross McCormack's penalty. Who will join Celtic in the draw for the last 4? Kilmarnock and Aberdeen couldn't close out business yesterday, and will replay on Tuesday week. Rangers Falkirk to come later today. Billy Dodds, this is an interesting matchup.
It certainly is. It's a little bit like Aberdeen and Kilmarnock yesterday. 2 teams very tightly matched. These teams have got both height, physicality. The way they've set out, looks as if they'll be getting up to their strikers and playing in one another's final third. And looking at it, let's be honest, it wouldn't be surprising if it needs a replay to see who goes into the next round.
Stephen Robinson became just the 6th Motherwell manager to lead them to a cup final earlier this season. November's 2-0 defeat to Celtic. Craig Levein looking to guide Hearts to silverware on his return to the Tynecastle dugout in his stint as director of football. Vincent Randall on loan from Liverpool with a header there, and Harry Cochrane in the middle of the park, the 16-year-old who made his name with that wonderful goal against Celtic in that 4-0 win in December that ended their long, invincible, unbeaten run domestically. It's Motherwell with a free kick here, and it is Randall on Main.
Yeah, just a little clip there. Gives him the first opportunity to test this Hearts defence. Zonal line-up.
Taken by Tanner to Chris Cadden. Well, we know what Chris Cadden is capable of. He's had another terrific campaign. 21-year-old. He might be eyeing up potentially breaking into the national team in the not too distant future. Hearts were very interested in Chris Cadden, with a bid which was thrown out last summer. Here's Carl McHugh, the Motherwell captain. Moving back to Tate. It was Craig Tanner. Goals against Hamilton and Dundee in rounds 4 and 5 respectively. The experience of Aaron Hughes, the heart of the Hearts rear guard today. It's an awkward one for John McLaughlin, and that's been popped into the net by Canning. Well, Chris Cadden did knock it home, but it's not going to count.
First thing I noticed, there was no complaints from the Hearts players. I think they thought they're a goal down. I don't see much wrong with it. Andrew Dallas saying that he had his hand on the ball, but John McLaughlin, I was going to say, they're two good goalkeepers in action here today.
He's dodged one here, hasn't he? He's dodged one here.
He's not in control of that ball, but...
Well, it's a major let-off for Hearts, that's for sure. And here they come trying to make it even worse. They're going to get a free kick in the edge of the box, and it's a yellow card as well.
Yeah, Aldridge taking him right out, Godinho. It's been a good start. We thought we were going to get a tight, evenly matched affair, and, you know, both teams feeling one another out, but goal chopped off, and then Godinho cleaned out. Excellent opportunity for Hearts. Correct booking as well on that occasion. I'm not sure about the ruled out goal.
Well, we suspect no matter what happens here, be dissecting that one for days to come. And up the other end, Kyle Lafferty has had more than his fair share of free kick goals for Hearts this season. He's their top scorer. 15 times he's found the net. This would be rubbing salt in Motherwell wounds if he's able to do so again here. Steelmen have everyone behind the ball. Hearts fans up the other end of Fir Park holding their breath here. It's Lafferty! Side net.
I think the Wong's in a good position. He's trying to go round it. You see Tanner there on the left-hand side, making the angle almost impossible. Great shot there when you see it. To get it round the wall and get it into that near post. Good effort though from Lafferty. Good ball from Motherwell.
Two Hearts in front here in the first league meeting between the sides this season. Motherwell came from behind to win that one. There's Naismith to Lafferty. Ross Callaghan, former Raith Rovers midfielder. Chief G. It's out to Tanner. Very open start to proceedings. Tanner's ball! Used the outside of the left boot, it was clever. And the action swinging from one end to the other.
Yeah, it's just getting into that final third and getting up to your front men, and it's rolled wide. Tomo talking about that before the game, just getting in there crosses. Suter does enough at that near post. The Chief G just needed a touch.
Tanner to take. Oh, what on earth's happened there? It's gone in this time, and this time it will count. Main taking the credit. It was Tanner who played it in, and John McLaughlin is as perplexed as all the Hearts supporters behind him. Motherwell lead.
I'm sure it's Callaghan at the front post, misses it. McLaughlin's not ready for it. You see Callaghan there. He doesn't cover, he leaves it for his goalkeeper. They have had a shocker. They've dodged one, they've not dodged that one.
Well, whose goal is it? Well, Curtis Main, certainly the closest in claret and amber, and they will feel justice has been done here, Motherwell. Main does appear to get the final touch on that, if it's not across the line initially from the corner.
Just McLaughlin gets rid of it, but Main, it just flicks off the back of his heel. It's enough to take it just over the line, but Hearts have had a shock. They've had praise since Craig Levine's come in. Defensively, they've had a shocker at the start of this game.
It's actually difficult to believe that the defence we have seen in the opening 7 minutes of this game is the same defence and goalkeeper that went 830 minutes without conceding a single goal. And Motherwell will feel they probably should be 2-0 up. John McLaughlin got away with that one very early on. We're still in the infancy of this tie. Motherwell lead.
I think you're deemed that if you've got a hand on the ball, to be in control of it, but he'd lost it. It was last minute stuff. He just put his hand on it straight away. It was the reaction of the Hearts players that told me they didn't complain about the goal. Motherwell were celebrating. Hugh Dallas says he had it under control. I'm not so sure.
I'm sure Hugh might be thinking the same thing as his son.
His son. Doing Hugh a disservice there.
Well, regardless of how the goal came about, it's a nightmare for Hearts, nightmare start for them. So many clean sheets, John McLaughlin. This is his 28th appearance for Hearts. He's had a clean sheet in half his matches coming into this one. Motherwell with the first blow this last 8 tie.
I don't think it's a game that any of us thought, the boys in the studio, us up here. It's lively, it's open. We expected a tight tactical affair. Height, presence. We've had a couple of bits of that, but open game, really enjoyable to watch.
One of Hearts' best defensive displays of the season was arguably the game at Pittodrie just before the winter shutdown. It was a goalless draw. They were so well drilled, well marshalled that day. Aberdeen couldn't find a way through. Of course, Craig Levein, centre-half of note, international centre-half. After all the week of preparation, to go behind to that, and they could have gone behind earlier. Him scratching his head, that's for sure. For Stephen Robinson, it's the perfect start, because you don't want to get embroiled in a dogfight against this Hearts side.
I think Motherwell have got similar attributes as well, though, so they try to counter that. You can see the way the game's going, that both teams take no chances in this patchy pitch. It's get it up to your front men, playing the final third and try and create from there, and Motherwell have struck the first blow.
It's better from Hearts. Cochrane involved, Callaghan, now Naismith, now Kyle Lafferty. Just got away from him, but he's managed to pull it back.
I thought he should have struck it. It was there, it was sitting there, he let it go through his body, and it just took a skid off the surface. It took it away from him. I thought he could have had the effort away there. Lafferty, good ball from Naismith.
Randall. They're a challenging main.
I think this is an excellent opportunity. See Naismith with a little ball clearly onside, and it's there to hit. It just lets it bounce, and the chance is gone.
Hearts have a free kick here. Interesting in the two lineups today, in that Conor Randall playing on the left for Hearts, normally a right-sided player. Richard Tate, similar from Motherwell, playing on the left, play both flanks. Cochrane takes. It's easy though for Carson. One of Motherwell's best performances of the season was the quarter-finals of the League Cup against Aberdeen. They were exceptional as well against Rangers in the semis. Louis Moult inspired on both occasions. Moultless now. Curtis Main stepped up to the plate. He's been credited with that goal. He is 5 now. This is just appearance number 10. That's exactly the ratio Louis Moult had in his Motherwell career. It was a goal every other game.
Yeah, I don't think Main's as natural a goal scorer as Louis Moult was, but certainly effective, strong lad. Get up to him, holds it up, links the play well, and he's chucking in his goals as well just now. Only a bonus for Motherwell fans.
It was Main who ended John McLaughlin's long clean sheet run. That late goal at Tynecastle. Misunderstanding there, Nadir Chief.
Problem for Hearts in this game is the Motherwell front three, Tanner, Main and Safety, are staying high, and if your wide men Randall and Godinho are high up the pitch, if they can transfer it quickly, it's 1v1s in that final area for Motherwell, and it's causing Hearts problems. We've not said that often over the last few months.
Craig Tanner will take this. One man Hearts wall there, Cochrane. On top of the keeper again. This time he holds on. Here's Adao, who we barely mentioned in the game. Up to press, 13 minutes in. Joachim Adao, Angolan born in Switzerland. On loan from Sion. It's Charles Dunn away from Motherwell, and Charles Dunn on his forced day off the other day due to the weather was assisting with people in North Lanarkshire getting to their work, driving around helping out during the dreadful weather that I think everyone in Scotland has suffered, certainly in the central belt and in the east in particular. Adao with the up and under, and keeper it. Brings it back to his keeper. Well, there you can see the possession, 68% in Motherwell's favour. Main, away by Godinho. There's Dunn. And 6 of the Motherwell starters today started the League Cup final against Celtic. Shooter. Lafferty. Callahan now with Naismith. Flicked away there by Tate. This is Adao looking for Shooter. We've had people working behind the scenes, Billy, who have been speaking to the SFA and the officials there, and according to them, the Chris Cadden goal right at the start, which was ruled out, it's a correct decision.
Yeah,
shouldn't have stood.
We all know that if you put your hand on the ball and he's got it under control,
it's under control is the crucial thing, is it not?
The biggest thing for me was it was a reaction from McLaughlin. He just panicked and put his left hand out. It wasn't already sitting there and saying, OK, I've got it, I've made a mistake.
Here is Cadden, and here is Chief G. Main digging it out to Tate. Gochans.
What I was saying about it was just as Cadden was kicking the ball that his hand just got on the ball. It was a split second. John Fleming, very transparent.
Yeah, head of referees, John Fleming. Watching the action here, and it began a very open cup tie. It's that Curtis Main goal that has Motherwell with their noses in front. They look for a place in the semi-finals of a competition for the second time this campaign. It's Alan Campbell arguing with Stephen Naismith. Randall appears to be leaving this for Cochrane. And Shooter couldn't make it stick. Comes back to Harry Cochrane. Naismith. It's the break off McHugh. Adao. And Cadden headed it straight to Lafferty.
Last 5 minutes or so is kind of gone the way that we thought the game would go. Just get it up and individual battles out there, nobody really getting a hold of the ball and getting any passing. moves going at all. It's just kind of breaking down, and a lot of headers in the game in the last 5 minutes.
It's good play by Tate. And he's got it through the Chief G, but there is a flag. Well, the Chief G was able to finish in any case. He really needs to rediscover the form that convinced Celtic to bring him from Dundee United.
Close one, just off. Look sharp there though, playing on the shoulder. Want to get his effort away and goal. That's what he has to do to get his confidence back.
He was at Plymouth in the lower reaches in England and failed to make an impression under Derek Adams, of course formerly of this parish. Well, this is the goal that separates the sides, which we will be seeing in just a moment. We will get you the goal in just a moment or two. 19 minutes in, Motherwell with that 1-0 lead. Well, it's broken Lafferty's way. He's got a runner right down the middle there in Ross Callaghan. Lafferty was under pressure and he's given it straight back to the hosts, and away with Alan Campbell here. It's an early ball. Main's unlucky. Just what you're talking about, Billy, Hearts committing players forward, Motherwell hitting them on the counter.
Yeah, and it's that wide there, ball in, and Main just can't get it under control. Well, looking back at the goal, John Fleming said it's not under control there. Cadden's just kicking it there. I tell you, that's a reaction from the goalkeeper. And if you think Hearts had learned their lesson, Callaghan's got to deal with it there. McLaughlin thinks he's going to deal with it. McLaughlin can't handle it, and Main gets the touch into the goal. It's just been calamitous from Hearts.
Unlikely Curtis Main scored from closer range than that. Here's Charles Dunn. This has been a decent 20 minutes for Stephen Robinson's side. Just over a year ago he was appointed as Mark McGee's replacement. Keith Lasley there, Motherwell legend of course. Assistant. New Messrs Hunter, Stevenson, McLean, Butcher and McCall had led Motherwell to major cup finals before this campaign. Stephen Robinson adding his name to that list. They would lose that final. They're desperate to get back to the National Stadium. In prime position to do that right now. Hewitt missed the ball there. Admitted that, but he's booked.
Yeah, I think that's a booking. When you go to ground and you don't take the ball, you catch young Harry Cochrane like that, I don't think you can expect anything else other than a booking.
Well, that puts Carl McHugh out of the semi-final if Motherwell get there. It's his second booking of the competition. And you can see from his reaction, he knows his fate. If Motherwell get to the semis, he won't be able to play, and he's the captain. It would be a big loss. It's all hypothetical at the moment, though. Yeah, 2 bookings. If you come in from the 4th, in fact the 3rd round onwards, 2 bookings and you miss the next game. It is wiped out when you get to the semi-finals, so bookings will not cost you a place in the final if you're booked in the semis these days. That rule was changed recently.
What a good rule it is. And a few gutted players over the years missing finals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially the more games you play.
I think Gary Warren in particular, Cali Thistle, who missed the League Cup final and the Scottish Cup final over the the course of 12 or so months due to suspensions. There have been many others, as Billy was saying. But Carl McKee will not feature in the semis if Motherwell get there. Campbell, Tanner and Chief Chi are also running that risk. And Hearts have a few as well, including Berra and Suter at the back. Lafferty's another, and Adow. And there's Callahan, testing Dunn.
It's good pace from Dunn. It's one thing he has, he's comfortable in that wide area, being a full-back as well. So as a centre-half, not scared to go there and match Callahan. Well-timed tackle.
Away by Tate. Cochrane. Suter, another who might well be interesting new national coach, Alec McLeish. And centre-half has been a big problem for Scotland over the recent years. So the positions are there for those who want them. Christoph Berra, obviously very much part of the setup under Gordon Strachan. I'm surprised if he wasn't brought into the new regime. Naismith to Lafferty, to Callahan, back to Naismith. It was better from Hearts, but it's an outstanding challenge by Dunn.
That
really good.
Had to get it right as well.
Here's Tanner. And Stephen Naismith bursting in the right-hand side there. I remember him scoring a League Cup semi-final goal here. Wonderful strike for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, it's a well-timed run from him, and just as you thought he's away, Dunn comes round and he's got to get that right. He's got to time that perfectly. He could have been off.
And Tanner, Chief G wanted it. Instead it's with Main. And Berra away.
They take their turns in getting wide, Motherwell front three, whether it's Main, Tanner on occasion. The other two just hit the box and causing Hearts problems. And they don't think twice about when they are wide, they just put it in there.
He's had a wonderful season, Christoph Berra. Very much, if the season was to end here, would be very much under consideration for the Player of the Year awards. Was Callahan. Really fine season, first season at Hearts. He's a Hearts supporter as well. Ross Callahan in the engine room for the visitors today. Cochrane winning it off Campbell. Naismith to Godinho. It's Naismith again. Jackie Madao with the up and under. Now under control. And Trevor Carson. Main for Tanner. And Cannon was arriving at the back end of the box.
One of the very few times you can't get a striker in there when Tanner drifted wide.
Clever from Lafferty. Even more so from Naismith. It's Kyle Lafferty.
It's a little bit like the one earlier in the half when it was on his left hand side. This time it's on his right. It's really good play. Naismith flick, 2 headers, lovely little pass from Naismith, and he's through. If he takes a better touch here, that touch forces him wide and he can't get a good enough contact in the ball to trouble goalkeeper.
Tom Aldred did enough there though to force him into that right position as well. Motherwell free kick. They were wanting the advantage played there. Just a warning for Adair. I repeat, he is one of those who missed the semi. If Hearts got there and he received a yellow today, very high of the studs there.
He's had a few bookings, hasn't he? But the head's down. I think that's what got him off of it. Tate lowering his head.
Dunn takes. By Bell. Cochrane perhaps surprised he got onto the ball there. It's Charles Dunn. Chief. Take for Tanner. Shot by Suter. So you can see from the possession here, Motherwell still enjoying the bulk of the ball.
It's no surprise it's getting closer. The game's calmed down a little bit. Motherwell right on top in the first spell, but sporadically now Hearts have got the ball down, created a few problems. Not enough, I might add.
Curtis Main's goal. In the early stages, 6-7 minutes into the game, is the difference. It's a goal the Hearts defence won't want to watch again, but you suspect Craig Levein will be making them do so, particularly if this tie doesn't go their way. You've got work to do. It's Motherwell who are threatening again here. Nadir Chiefchi jockeying with no doubt. Played in the League Cup final for Dundee United against Celtic, scored in the semi against Aberdeen that season. He's on loan from Celtic, so just wonder, Billy, if he still believes he can have a future there. I suspect it's going to be a very tall order for him.
Nah, he needs to go elsewhere and play his football, whether it's Motherwell or wherever, but he needs to start scoring goals to get that confidence back. I was talking about showing the physical side of him. We certainly get that. There's a few physical tussles out there now. Berra and Main to the main one, pardon the pun.
Kick against McHugh. He'll miss a semi-final, but he doesn't want to miss the rest of this quarter-final. Has to be careful. He walks the tightrope.
Time to go for that.
Berra for Lafferty. Strong play by Cedric Kipre, who was sent off in that League Cup final defeat to Celtic in November. Kind of took Motherwell's aspirations up the tunnel with him. Cochrane to Callaghan. And there's the aforementioned Kipre. The judge to have fouled him, and then it's involved with Naismith. Don't really want to be taking on Cedric Kipre, do you?
He's a big lad. You're on your own, Stephen Naismith. I've got to say, I think it is a free kick though. He gets a bit of the ball, but he's come through the back. You can't do that as a defender, come through the back of players.
And the towering Kipre stands at 6'3".
Definite foul. There's no way he can get that ball cleanly right through Callaghan. No complaints.
Well, not for the first time. Harry Cochrane has a chance to play the ball in from the left from a set play. And that's poor. His goal against Celtic was outstanding. It was the first of the 4 as Hearts put the champions to the sword in Gorgie. Callaghan to Godinho. As it runs into Charles Dunn. And there was a foul by Godinho off the ball on Tate.
I think you'll find it's probably Tate's momentum that's taken him into Godinho. Looks pacey, Godinho.
No yellow. That's why there are howls of derision from the Motherwell supporters.
As a free kick, but for me it's not a booking. Correct decision.
He's on loan at Berwick Rangers for the first half of this season, Marcus Godinho. Perhaps as surprised as anyone that he's into the team today. A 20-year-old, a Portuguese father. It's been an uncomfortable afternoon for Hearts so far, that's to say the least. And Craig Levein sounded the warning in his pre-match media conference. How difficult this was going to be.
Another tight one, possibly just offside again. Safety.
Well, Hearts' away results haven't been anywhere near as good as their Tynecastle points haul, which has been excellent since they moved back into their home. Unbeaten since going back to Tynecastle. Their last home defeat, if you want to call it that, was at Murrayfield to Kilmarnock. Away from home it's been a whole lot more difficult. Just 9 away wins since the start of last season. No competition. And it comes towards Main again. It's a really good delivery here, Carl McHugh, and wide in the left, but Hearts are looking bedraggled here.
Did enough there, Berra. Good physical contact with Main without looking like giving away the penalty, but Tanner just getting that ball wide there, as Tom highlighted at the start of the programme, and he's just delivered. I think Main only needs a clean touch on it, but Berra does enough.
The Steelmen have got another free kick. Again, it's Godinho.
Sometimes you just got to stand up, Liam, as a defender, and you can't win the ball. Stand, jockey, show him away from goal. Now it's an unpressurised delivery.
John McLaughlin trying to organise his defence, but they've not looked too clever defending the set plays. He's opening 36 minutes. Half away, Ross Callaghan there. And still Hearts can't clear. McLaughlin just gets there ahead of Main.
He was brave because Main wasn't pulling out. He was always favourite though, the goalkeeper.
Main, lovely play, burrowing away from Suter, and then over from Tanner.
They look rattled, Hearts, they really do. They've got 3 men going for the ball in the halfway line, which safety wins, and then he's clattered late on. Main does brilliantly to hold it up and get the effort away. Just see 3 of them there. Berra's one of them, not like him. Gives away the free kick now. It's a foot race 1v1, as I said. Strong Main. They're not handling it well, and then Tanner supporting as well. The front 3 are causing problems. It's a decent effort, just can't keep it down.
Craig Tanner might be wanting to follow in the footsteps of Stevie Kirk, who of course famously scored in every round, including the final in 1991 for Motherwell. Randall. Here's Lafferty. Godinho. Harry Cochrane. Godinho again. Cochrane looking for Randall. There's some things up for Hearts right now. Better. Commanding stuff from McHugh.
Certainly picked a team that's matching Hearts and physicality. Stephen Robertson, to see McHugh there knocking it back to his goalkeeper, anything up to the front. Three are causing problems, especially Main and Safety. Dunn on the ball here, you've seen him put in a few last-ditch tackles. Right up for it, Motherwell.
They really are, and they're pushing right up the park. When they've had success this season, it's been because of tactics like this.
Yeah, they can play as well, but they get it to that final third, and then they'll maybe put in a cross or try and get a couple of passes on the ground to try and break through the Hearts defence. But in the main, it's up there, crosses in the box, and see where it takes them.
Keeper fouled by Lafferty. He's taking a sore one here, keeper, on the landing. Tanner. From Campbell. It's a sore one as well. And once more, it's Kyle Lafferty who's throwing himself about. Andrew Dallas will have a word with the Northern Irishman. It is just a word, though.
Just a little touch in the back. It's a cheap one, isn't it? He knows he'll get a little lean. Aldred feels the little touch in the back, heads it. Much ado about nothing, if you ask me.
Hearts subs perhaps felt most of that. Lafferty happy to avoid a booking there, because if Hearts do turn this around over the course of either today or a potential replay at Tynecastle, he'd miss the semi.
Although Lafferty's had his moments, I don't think it's a blatant shove, that's what I mean.
There's not going to actually spare Carl McHugh if it did go to a replay. Certainly as things stand, he would miss the last four. It's the Northern Ireland boss, Michael O'Neill, interested spectator, and perhaps interested in Kyle Lafferty just a moment ago. So Trevor Carson, the Motherwell goalkeeper's from County Down, so he might be in with a shout at some point. Of course, Aaron Hughes, part of the Hearts rear guard, has been a mainstay, as Lafferty has under O'Neill. Chief Cheat, it's clever. There's Tanner. It's going Motherwell's way. Suited up against his former Dundee United teammate Chief Cheat. Max claimed that was their throw.
I think they're claiming the foul on Suter by Safety, but not getting it.
And this time it does go Hearts' way. Curtis Main's goal is what separates the two. He arrived from Portsmouth, where he spent 18 months. Tony Mowbray actually signed him for Middlesbrough. At one point, scored 6 times for the Teesside club. He's already on 5 for Motherwell. Tanner sweeping it forward, Chief chasing. Cadden does enough. There, Alan Main. Motherwell fans wanting a free kick. It's not forthcoming.
Loved watching those two. No quarter given, and they just accepted, going with it. Just feel as if Main's edging that one though.
It's very interesting seeing the Hearts back 3 up against the Motherwell front 3. There's Carl McHugh. Oh, he's been closed down by Adow, and if there was a shout, he certainly didn't hear it. And he had options left and right as well.
But it's how quickly they're onto that back 3 you're talking about. It's that transfer quickly is going to catch them out, because their wing backs are high, and they had runners. McHugh just dwelt on it. Dow did well. Gets his team the free kick.
And it's a loose ball. But gets a second chance. Final minute of the first half. No stoppage time being added, last we heard. Tanner for Cadden. Main wanted it in behind. Cadden unable to release the big Motherwell number 9. Main to Cadden. Half time. It's an incredible goal that has Motherwell in front here. Curtis Main got it right on the line as he tapped home, if you can call it that, from Craig Tanner's corner, which John McLaughlin knocked back off the post. Main was the beneficiary. It could have been 2-0 if the referee had adjudged John McLaughlin not to have been in control of the ball a few minutes earlier when Cadden tapped home. But right now, it's Motherwell very much in the box seat for a place in the semis of the William Hill Scottish Cup. Half-time at Fir Park is Motherwell 1, Heart of Midlothian 0.
Well, the first 7 minutes of the match have probably given us enough to talk about for the next 15 minutes, to be honest. Not a magnificent 7 for Hearts. Ball in the net from Chris Cadden. Goal chalked off by Andrew Dallas. More of that in a minute. There is the one that did count from Curtis Main from about 6 inches out, maybe, after more catastrophic defending from Hearts. 1-0 Motherwell. It is halfway through. Let's get the interval thoughts of Stephen Thompson, Michael Stewart with me here in the studio. We're still a little bit steamed up, and it was certainly a pretty hot opening 7 minutes of the match. We'll get to the specifics of that shortly, Stephen, but will Motherwell's only disappointment about the first 45 be here that they're not further in front?
They deserve to be. They've been only 2 minutes for me. They started so well. The game was more open than I thought it would be, but Motherwell have completely dominated. They look like they did earlier in the season. They're aggressive, they're winning second balls, their work rate, they're outworking Hearts, they're being creative, they're doing the things that we pointed out before the match, working the balls into wide areas, and by far they have been the better side.
The other side of that coin is Hearts will be probably pretty happy that the damage is only 1 goal so far.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, obviously there's a bit of confusion around the goal that was disallowed, but other than that, you know, as Stephen's saying there, Motherwell, the side that are, you know, on top, they're dominant. The front 3 have been very effective from Motherwell. In midfield as well, they look as if they've got the upper hand, and at the back, you know, they're effectively 3v1. And Kyle Lafferty's, you know, isolated at times. So Motherwell will be very happy, but there'll be a slight amount of caution in the changing room, the home dressing room, because it is only that one goal. But yeah, very impressive performance so far from Motherwell.
Now, I don't want to get all rules and regulations on you, but here is what the football rules tell us as we look at that incident 3 minutes in, when the ball ended up in the back of the net. Chris Cadden put it there, and was the goalkeeper in control of the ball? Well, the goalkeeper is considered to be in control of the ball when the ball is between the hands or between the hand and any surface, for example, the ground. So was John McLaughlin in control of the ball?
He was. I mean, look, for me, I think he's under control of the ball. I think everybody, you see the reaction from John McLaughlin. He thinks it's a goal. I think everybody, you look at the defenders, look at John McLaughlin's reaction as well. He thinks it's a goal. But I think there's got to be a lot of credit to Andrew Dallas, because he gets the call correct.
Yeah,
it is the correct decision, is disallowed. But everybody on the pitch and sitting here in the studio, we all thought it was a goal, but the referee's spot on.
Yeah, the body language was interesting from the Hearts players, wasn't it?
It was. There's a fraction of a second where you might think his hands maybe come off the ball just before the touch for it to go in the goal. But I think he is in control of the situation, and therefore it's a great spot from the referee.
Now, this one did count. What was Ross Callaghan thinking about here?
Well, that's the golden question.
You know, Tom was thinking, is there some sort of communication between the goalkeeper McLaughlin and Ross Callaghan? But I really don't sure. I'm not convinced that anything goes on. The ball eventually, you know, it was a good bit of work down the side, and it goes out for a corner. But regardless of whether John McLaughlin's telling Callaghan anything or not, he's got to clear it. He can't leave it. And by the way, a lot of credit's got to go to John McLaughlin in goals, because John McLaughlin almost manages to keep it out the goal.
He thinks it's going by the post. I'm telling you, he thinks this is curling past the post and gets it
Irrelevant.
horribly wrong.
Irrelevant whether you think it's going past the post or not.
Deal with it.
Clear it. Stop it. Block it. You know, and that's Hearts are 1-0 down now. The goalkeeper's got to take a bit of credit, because he almost managed to keep it out. Terrible from Ross McLaughlin.
Ross Callaghan, he was just so casual about it as well, in the way he just let the ball run. It was almost as if he was down at the other end.
I'm pretty sure he thinks it's going to run and hit the side net. He just got his angles completely wrong. It's a horrendous way to lose a goal so early in the match.
And we've been talking about how steady and solid Hearts are defensively. What a start from them!
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, the first one that was disallowed, then that one, two very unusual incidents in the, you know, what we've spoken about is a dependable, consistent backline for Hearts. But then it's sort of continued in that theme for the first half, where Motherwell's front three have dragged them, you know, here, there, and everywhere, and they've not looked comfortable defensively. And it's a bit unorthodox. You see here, Chief G's through the middle, Tanner's dropping off, Main going into a wide area, but then it never stays like that. Then you've got Main, and there's Chief G again through the middle. Tanner's out in the wide area, dropping him behind, ball into the box from Cadden. There's so many different rotations in the front three, and Hearts back three in midfield have not been able to deal with it.
They haven't, and for me especially, Curtis Main has had a fantastic half. You can see how much of a physical presence he is, how hard he works, but he's really given the centre-halves, the three centre-halves of Hearts, a really, really tough time with his physicality. This is a ball to nothing. He's got no right to go and win that. Just pushes John Suter out the way. Then he's very unlucky not to fashion space for a shot for himself. Tanner with the rebound after it, but he's caused an awful lot of problems in this first half.
He was showing off his guns, wasn't he, as he went off at half-time. He's a real handful, and Liam was making the point in commentary as well, that it's a goal every other game, and that's exactly what Louis Moult's strike rate was.
Well, and by the way, as we were talking about before the game, everything else that he brings to the side as well, you see in the clips there, he's a strong physical guy, he holds the ball up well, he moves the defenders about, but then you've got the wider players in Cadden and Tate as well. They get up and support, so they get lots of bodies forward, Motherwell, and at the moment Hearts have not been able to pin it down, get their men picked up, and they've really unsettled this Hearts side.
What will comfort the best part of 5,000 Hearts fans behind us is that they will imagine, Stephen, their team has got to be better second half, because for them this is as good as it's got in the first half. A couple of efforts from Kyle Lafferty.
Yeah, they've been really disappointing. It's hard for me to distinguish exactly what Hearts' attacking intents are. You know, what other patterns of play? Are they trying to get the ball wide? Are they trying to play it through the lines? Are they trying balls over the top? No, this is the only time in that first half there was actually link-up between the front pairing, if you like. It resulted in a shot on goal for Lafferty. He slips just as he hits it. But, you know, what are they doing? You know, this ball's been probably illustrative of what they've been doing most of the half. A long punt up to Lafferty. The midfield not really getting up in support, and as I mentioned at the start there, Motherwell are picking up most of the second balls. You know, I can't actually work out what their pattern is, how they're going to try and score a goal, you know, and I don't think for the however many 5,000 Hearts fans that are here, they'll be enjoying watching that type of football. For me, it's not good.
It's a tough shift for the striker.
Yeah,
I mean, Tom will tell you, you know, you play up there on your own like that. They're obviously trying to get Stephen Naismith and Callaghan up in support, but Motherwell have got so many bodies back there as well. They've got the 3 against 1 up against the the striker, and then they've got their midfield who are matching Hearts midfield runners as well. So there's a lack of an outball for Hearts at the moment.
So it's not clear what Hearts are trying to do.
No.
And in sharp contrast,
Well, exactly.
it's very clear what Motherwell are trying to do, and it's working really well.
It's so obvious, and the thing about the Motherwell game plan, it's not complicated.
Yeah, very simple, isn't it?
But it's very, very effective, and players love that sort of thing. You know, they all know what they're doing, they all know their roles and responsibilities, and they're carrying out their game plan from Stephen Robinson to a T.
So it is Motherwell 1, Hearts 0, half-time here at Fir Park. Second half coming your way. 4:15 kick-off at Ibrox for Rangers against Falkirk, the 4th William Hill Scottish Cup quarter-final. Highlights of that one later, and this one too with Jonathan.
In the battle between the beast from the East and the Scottish Cup, there was only ever going to be one winner, the venerable old trophy standing firm. Highlights of all the action on Sports Scene tonight. Peter Houston and Stuart McCall joining us in the nicely heated studio. We hope you'll get in the warmth and join us as well at 6 o'clock on BBC 2 Scotland.
Before we get back to the second half of Motherwell against Hearts, let's have a quick chat about the 2 quarter-finals. Yesterday, one settled, one still very much unsettled. That one will replay at Rugby Park. But Celtic are through. 3-0 win against Morton yesterday. Now, you two are not allowed to say, as I said last night in your analysis of this, because you've already chewed it over already. Moussa Dembele's finishing was really impressive.
It was a wonderful goal. A really top drawer finish to get the height and the power and the header. A wonderful bit of attacking play from a guy who's been off colour of late. Yeah. And then, obviously, the big incident.
I heard you last night saying that he fell in the box, so that made it a difficult decision.
Well, because of the pace at what he's moving it, and then he lands, probably a couple of yards inside the box. There's no doubt that John Beaton should have got the call right. I'm just trying to give some sort of balance as to perhaps why he got it wrong. But it was a huge call for John Beaton.
Yeah, Edouard, who scores the last goal, came on at half-time in the match and really made a difference. In the first half, Celtic were huffing and puffing. Morton, you have to give a lot of credit for in the game. I thought they started the game well. They carried out their game plan from Jim Duffy really well. But eventually Celtic's pressure told. But the substitution for Edouard come on for Sinclair at half-time was the difference.
Would that be a worry for Celtic? The other side of that coin, Edouard made a big impact. The impact that Scott Sinclair didn't make in the first 45?
Of course it will, because you look at the big games, the run-in that Celtic have got to go and try and do that double treble. And Scott Sinclair's a player that you would have hoped and you would wish from a Celtic perspective to have a big impact. But at the moment, he's definitely not having that same influence that he had last season. Edouard's come in, done well. Is he going to start the next game against Rangers? There's a big question. There's a lot of questions being asked of Celtic at the moment, and by hook or by crook, they're coming up with the answers. But it's not as fluent as it was last year. There's no doubt about that.
Aberdeen against Kilmarnock was not, in terms of quality, one to live long in the memory, I don't think, on a sticky playing surface at Pittodrie. I'm sure Graham Shinney didn't think from this position he was going to be scoring.
No, he didn't, but they'll be pleased to get him back in the side because he's a very important player for them. This was a cross, and Jamie McDonald's positioning is all wrong, and then I said that I thought out the corner of his eye he might have seen Stevie May's run. For the equaliser, Shea Logan and Arneson, a terrible mix-up, allowing Jordan Jones in, and that's a clear foul. He's bundled down. Logan goes into the back of Jones, and I think a draw in the end was the right result. I think Aberdeen probably the best of the first half. Kilmarnock were the better side second half, and saying that, Aberdeen had opportunities to win the game.
The replay is going to be a real tough one. I think that that's a huge result for Kilmarnock to get the replay. They probably would have quite liked to not have a replay because they've got the 2 games that they need to catch up in the league. But to get it back to Rugby Park, I think they're the favourites now.
Yeah.
And it is a massive game, for Derek McInnes as well. If he can get through to the semi-final and see these teams pass Kilmarnock, massive result that can maybe help them kick on in the league. Equally though, if they don't, then they've got a tough task to try and reel Rangers back in to get into second place. And if they're knocked out the cup early stages, it's a disappointing season for Aberdeen. So that game is massive.
Derek McInnes wasn't happy afterwards about the penalty decision, but maybe more riled by the fact that the game was under Aberdeen's control after Shinnie had scored and they let it slip.
Well, it was. They were in control of the match, but I don't think they played particularly well. I think neither team played as well as they can do. And in the end, as I said, a draw on balance is the fairest result. But like Michael says, going back to Rugby Park, where Kilmarnock's home form has been so incredibly good, you would have to fancy Kilmarnock to go through this tie now. And I agree, I think their season hinges upon this cup run, because Derek McInnes and spoken about on numerous occasions about how he wants to reach finals, and they should be reaching finals, and they should be winning more trophies than the one that they've got. So when you say that, it kind of puts extra pressure on you to then follow that through. And I think the Aberdeen supporters probably would see the season as a disappointment if they were to go out this cup like they did the League Cup at the quarter-final stages.
You're with Sports Scene Live Football on BBC Scotland. What's happening in that away dressing room at the moment, Michael? What is Craig Levein saying? Will he reshuffle? Will he change things?
I'm not 100% sure whether he'll reshuffle or change things, but I'm pretty sure he'll be saying to the players that they need to lift the tempo and the energy levels, because they've been outrun and outfought so far, and I think if they can lift the energy levels, get their individual battles, try and get the upper hand on that. That's probably the biggest thing that he's trying to say. In terms of tactical changes, I'm not sure that he'll do anything at the moment. I think he quite likes to have his back three, particularly away from home. And I'm not convinced he'll change anything tactically just yet. But he's obviously got plenty of options on the bench. A Mankwa in a wide area that he might look to bring on later on in the game to give them a bit of penetration in the wide area is a possibility.
As well, who's been doing well recently.
The work ethic of Motherwell takes a hell of a lot of beating, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I also think, having watched the first half there, I wonder where a goal's going to come from Hearts. As I was saying, I know they've got people on the bench they can bring on, but
and they've got real quality in the attacking positions in Naismith and Lafferty.
Are they being utilised properly? Is that the service that Lafferty wants? Is it the service that Naismith wants? He's in an area where he's getting harried and hustled out of the ball. He's got the timing. He's great at finding time and space, but he's unable to do it.
There's a lot of bodies in there at the moment.
He's unable to do it. And Motherwell tactically have got the better of Hearts in that first half.
Did you say Milinkovic was going to come on there?
Is he not even in the bench?
No, he's coming on.
He's on the bench. Oh, is he coming on? Right, okay. I thought you were about to tell me he's not in the squad. No, yeah, I mean, I've been impressed with him when he's played recently. He's got a goal in him, and I certainly think it brings another attacking threat to the Hearts side, because they've been lacking that.
OK, we're about to head for second half action here. Motherwell 1, Hearts 0, and this is the story so far.
It's an awkward one for John McLaughlin, and that's been popped into the net by Cannon. But it's not going to count. It's Lafferty. Side net. Oh, what else happened there? It's gone in this time. Well, there he is, David Milinkovic. Scored a brace for Hearts in their 4-0 win over Celtic. So Craig Levein has turned to the man on loan from Genoa in Italy at the start of the second half, which Hearts will kick off. Shooting left to right in the navy. Motherwell in their traditional claret and amber will shoot towards the Davy Cooper stand. And we're back underway at Fir Park. Motherwell, the twice Scottish Cup winners, 1952 and 1991. I mentioned Davy Cooper. Such a wonderful cup final it was. A seesaw battle with Dundee United, which Motherwell won by 4-3. It's their first quarter-final since 2012 in this competition. It's the same for Hearts. They defeated St Mirren in what was their last away victory in this tournament, outside of neutral territory. In fairness to Hearts, the draw's not really been that kind to them over the subsequent years since they last won it in 12. Hard-fought Edinburgh derbies, visits from Celtic. They've managed to find their way through to the last 8, but right now their chances in the last 4 are under serious duress. Here's Harry Cochrane for Hearts. Milinkovic already looking for the ball there. the right, no, it's Godinho. Now it is with Milinkovic. It's too high for Lafferty. It's Chiefchi helping out. He's managed to squeeze it through to Cadden. Motherwell have looked dangerous in this kind of situation in this tie, but the ball kind of just bobbled away from Chris Cadden there. It allowed Berra to make the challenge. Naismith finds Cochrane. Confirmation of the lineups as we have them at the start of the second half, just at the bottom of your screen there. Here's Tanner for Motherwell. Main gets himself in. Well, I thought he got himself into an onside position. I think he did too.
Yeah, Suter must have been close to playing him on. Perhaps right hand side.
Stuggy Potter with the flag.
Yeah, good decision again.
Yeah.
Not surprised Milinkovic is on. I thought, I'm looking at his position, he's still playing just off of Lafferty. And Cochrane trying to get forward to support as well. I thought he just might push the three right up front and do to Motherwell what Motherwell are doing to Hearts and try and drag the back three all over the place and just match up in midfield, but he's playing him a little bit deeper. Milinkovic might push up higher up late in this half.
Not a good afternoon at the office for Ross Callaghan. Fought for the goal. Hooked at half-time.
I think the boys are right though. Near post, you've just, I think it was Michael that said, you just got to deal with it. Doesn't matter what's going on behind you, just to leave it. It's incredible.
It's amazing what the cup win in '91 did for not just this football club, but for the town of Motherwell. It came just after the closure of Ravenscraig and brought a feel-good factor to the North Lanarkshire town. That's what it can do. They see their first piece of major silverware since then. They only managed 3 quarter-finals since they last won it, the Scottish Cup. Didn't look like a terrific first touch by Aldred, but he deals with it. There's Chiefchi. Charles Dunn would like that again.
Again, when Lafferty wins the flick though, the support is deep. If they were already there, might just cause that back three for Motherwell a few more problems.
Craig Levine, part of the Hearts team that lost the cup final in '86. It's the week after they lost it in the league chase with Celtic. Naismith's cross. Milinkovic and Adao. Berra, who's on the bench in 2006. Hearts won it under Valdis Ivanauskas. They finally won on penalties against Gretna. Remember them? Here's Milinkovic. Godinho's ball. Need 3 in the middle as well. And sloppy from both. Aaron Hughes, the most capped British defender of all time. Naismith for Randall. He's popped it back to Stephen Naismith. Keeper's challenge, the referee's pointed to the spot. It's a penalty. Shaking ahead from Kieprek.
It's brilliant from Naismith. I mean, Keeper's going all the way. You're thinking, pull out of that challenge, please. He doesn't. He leaves the leg. Naismith over it. Definite penalty. Hearts have to have a chance to get right back in it.
And right in front of almost 5,000 Hearts supporters, Kyle Lafferty. Hearts have a 100% record from this spot this season. Milinkovic has 1, Lafferty has 2. It is Kyle Lafferty for parity, and it's 1-1 at Fir Park. Hearts back on terms.
Well, he missed the one against Kelly during the week, but my word, he makes no mistake. Positive, doesn't pick a side, just lashes it right down the middle. Carson goes to his right, no chance for him. Those 4,800 Hearts fans, absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah, loving it. And it's a decisive spot kick as well.
Lacey's through it, Liam. I'm not guessing a side. I'm going with power after his miss.
So Chris Boyd score a similar penalty at Pittodrie yesterday.
Keeper's got to stop. He just can't leave your leg, and he goes with, you know, his left leg as well. That's a right-footed challenge there. Gets it all wrong. Naismith over him. We know what happened next.
Well, he was in tears apparently in the dressing room the other night, Kyle Lafferty, after the penalty against Kilmarnock. 1-1 draw. Jamie McDonald, former Hearts keeper, keeping it out. I think Bob posed the question at half-time that Hearts couldn't be as bad in the second half as they were in the first. That's a really good response. Motherwell scored early in the first half. Hearts levelling early in the second.
Just experience from Naismith as well. The little give and go wasn't matched. That left keeper in the situation. He's got to come out, make the challenge. Really good from Naismith.
Here he is again, Naismith. Here's Lafferty again! So unlucky! Oh my goodness, it's almost 2 in just over a minute for Lafferty. Hearts coming very, very close to turning this tie in its head. Here's Randall. They've got a spring in their step all of a sudden. And Keepre closes the door.
Oh, I was panicking for Keepre, but a great challenge sets Motherwell go.
3 on 3. It's Tanner. Chief G. Motherwell have a corner.
Great start to both halves, really is. And then when you get that opportunity, you think, is Keepre going to give away another penalty? You get what's happening in the first half. It's onto that back three. This Lafferty effort, and very like his Celtic goal, a lot to do. Strikes with his right boot and agonisingly off the post.
And that one was even further out against Celtic, wasn't it? And that one.
The angle was against him, but he produced it, and he nearly did again there.
Cadden with it. And John McLaughlin believed there was a host of bodies in the road there. The Hearts keeper. We're going to bring on Ryan Bowman. Sounds of things. There he is. Didn't get in the score sheet against Aberdeen in the League Cup quarter-final, but he and Louis Moult were terrific up front that night. He's going to replace a frustrated-looking Nadir Chiefchi. Bowman on 7 goals this season, but clearly Stephen Robinson is not happy with the way the tide has turned here, because Hearts have been the better team since the interval.
It's good indication it was going to change, not by what was happening on the pitch, but just Craig Levein getting them in at half-time, give them a rollicking, a little tinker of the personnel, and suddenly the game's gone their way.
Another counter. Look at Shaki Madao chasing back. Tanner.
Don't forget shooting into that big Heart support as well.
A little bit like an extra man for them in the second half.
Absolutely.
It's a huge stand, the south stand, the newest of the stands at Fir Park. And with huge 2 tiers, which are behind Carson's goal. Godinho. The pinball there's a slight shout for handball. It's the gloved Milinkovic. He's done well. He's taken a dull one there by the looks of things. Charles Dunn thinks he's making the most of it.
It's good play from him initially. A couple of drags, couple of step overs. Gets himself into a position. Dunn having none of that. Didn't look too much in it. Good play from him, direct. He's turned the tide for Hearts, or helped. Clearly gets the ball done. Not going to get away with a few step overs, son, without getting a smack.
Is that how it works?
Absolutely.
Milinkovic will be back on in a moment. Godinho. The goalkeeper wasn't sure as that came sailing into his comfort zone. Randall keeps it alive. Here's Cochrane. It's Lafferty again! And Carson makes the save. And he had to.
Every bit about it was quality. Cochrane's delivery, Motherwell switch off, but good ball in. Lafferty's little bit of movement, a great flick. Slow motion, isn't it? It's a great save from Carson. He's got to watch it all the way, watch the bounce and get it round the post.
Motherwell hanging on a bit here, having led this tie. Milinkovic. It's the best corner in the world. You can see what Cochrane was trying to do. Cochrane puts it back in. That's gone behind for another corner.
That's Main back there has got to deal with it. It's another brilliant delivery from Cochrane. It's so much technical ability, the young lad. Look at that pick out, and Main just swings a left boot at it, gets lucky.
The Hearts have been everything in the last 15 minutes, the opening 15 of the second half that they weren't in the first. Tanner will free himself of the shackles of Randall and Naismith. Couldn't do that. It's Adao.
One thing we'll notice, so yeah, the tide's changed, the equaliser, giving Hearts a bit of energy. It's that Motherwell back three now that are getting dragged about. Dunn's haven't come out quite a lot. They don't look as comfortable. Great cup title.
It's certainly on a knife edge now. Lafferty. No doubt. Oh, he just about got away with that one. Here's Cochrane, Kipru. He gave away the penalty. Wins it back. And now Tanner has it. Kipru's continued his run, amongst others. And Tanner runs into trouble. Didn't really best use of that counter. He's apologising to his teammates right now. Eventually. Hearts, of course, failed to get out of their League Cup group this season, finishing behind Dunfermline and Peterhead. They lost to Balmoor at the end of July. It was a late Rory McAllister penalty. McAllister currently the Scottish Cup's top scorer this season. Naismith finds Lafferty. Lafferty and Naismith were on the score sheet when Rangers won the title on the last day back in 2011.
Really got himself into the game this second half. Get the penalty, using his experience, drop him in the pocket there. 2 or 3 little passes. Just couldn't get the final pass through, but really involved second half team, Stephen Naismith.
Randall. And Linkovich. Keeper would have been aware that Naismith was behind him there. Jackie Madar brought to Hearts on deadline day. End of the winter window. Tanner's ball, well, that should be McLaughlin's, though he is the punch. There's keeper eager to make amends. Motherwell had a real slump in form after the League Cup final, and their exploits in that competition came to an end in November's showpiece. They lost 6 of 8, drew the other 2. And of course did come close to one of those scores. It was very nearly a victory over Celtic. Right here, Scott Sinclair's late penalty kept Celtic's then unbeaten run going. Not that Motherwell felt that penalty should have been awarded on the night. It took a while to get the engine going again. In better form recently. Nadinho. Cross there. Resulted in Tom Aldred coming off the worst as he clashed with his teammate Campbell.
Dow just left the left leg in.
Milinkovic. Better for Randall. There's plenty of movement ahead of him from Naismith and Lafferty, and here's Milinkovic on the edge of the box. Poor ball by Suter. Sometimes when Motherwell at their strongest. And hitting the counter, it is Curtis Main. Breaking the ball initially, but Jackie Maddow has certainly come into this. As the longer this match has gone on, you can see what he brings to this Hearts team.
Yeah, he's that sitting midfielder. Motherwell backing off on occasions this second half, and he's rotating the ball well, just getting on it, passing it about the pitch, breaking things up. He's certainly come into it. Long throw from Dunn. It's an optimistic appeal from the Motherwell fans in the Cooper stand there.
done asking way too much of Campbell. You'll be wondering what's happened here. He must have been relatively comfortable at half-time, Billy.
Yeah, they would have been saying same again, but he probably knew in his head that Hearts were going to have a go and they were going to change something, do something different. He could probably, been doing with a second goal half-time just to make it that little bit more comfortable. Plenty to think about now. Stephen Robinson, Hearts have definitely turned it, more possession now.
Shooter gave away the free kick there, but it was taken from the other half of the pitch. The Motherwell were able to do anything about it, and with it. And Motherwell have won this competition twice. Hearts have won it 8 times. 1891, 96, 1901, 06, 56, 98, 2006 and 2012. Look to add to the trophy cabinet this season. McHugh. This thing's Stan Carl McHugh, who was booked in the first half. He'd missed the replay rather than the semi-final.
Ado again, an important challenge. You're just talking about it, Liam. Nice slip ball. Tanner looked as if he was going to get on it, and great challenge. Gets his team the throw in as well.
Craig Levine's first spell at Hearts, he had a very, very strong team with a really good backbone through it, and likes of Phil Stamp in the midfield and Mark De Vries up front. Kevin McKenna in the back. You can look through this current Hearts team and you can see similarities. Just over 20 to play, and it's sitting at 1 apiece. It's Kyle Lafferty's effort.
It's a good pick out from Sutter. Got a man over there as well, Randall behind him, but taking on the spectacular and getting it very much wrong.
He's capable of it. Austin McPhee, the Hearts assistant. His club boss, Craig Levine, of course. His national boss, Michael O'Neill, up in the stand. McPhee very much part of the Northern Ireland setup.
Motherwell have gone a back four now. Tate now on that right hand side. Dunn on the left. Aldred and Kipre just had a little tinker themselves.
Godinho. Milinkovic for Naismith. He'll be happy enough for the corner. It's been a very different Heart of Midlothian since the interval. Come through ties against neighbours Hibernian and St Johnston in the last round. Cochrane's corner is away. It's incredible to think Harry Cochrane's only 16. He's slotted into that Hearts midfield seamlessly.
He's got a bit of everything. The baby-faced assassin there. You know, his strength as well, and puts himself about for such a young lad and slight figure, but technical as well, as we've seen with a couple of his deliveries.
There's Tanner though for Motherwell, and look who's there again, Jakim Adal.
Motherwell look as if they've lost their directness, because there's opportunities to go into that Hearts back three again, and they just look as if they've lost their way a little.
It's probably down to what Hearts have done since the interval. Naismith Showed too much of it to McHugh. It's lovely footwork there by another young player on show, Alan Campbell. There's Tanner. Bowman in behind Berra. Shoot it away. It's Cadden. It's better from Motherwell.
Yeah, Suter ended up playing them on, and that's better. That was direct, it was at them. They were onto that back three again. Little slip pass. Bowman fires it across. You see, he does enough. Suter, who was playing them on, and gets a second block.
He thought he'd scored early in the game today, Chris Cadden.
It's a good strike from him. Controlled.
Andy Dallas isn't happy with something. Find out what that is now. Adow and Bowman. And the two are still clashing. Normally hear a whistle for the defending team when this sort of thing kicks off.
Lafferty and done at it.
Okay, now everyone's ready. Here comes from Cadden. Well, he certainly won the header cleanly enough.
Aldred, clean jump. Just can't fault the keeper at that back post.
Yeah, Elliott Freer, they are just getting some instructions. It's a wide man. Stephen Robinson looking to perhaps get at the wide areas for Motherwell. Hearts, of course, playing with that back three, and they've certainly pushed Randall and Godinho up the park, and there might well be a bit of space for Elliott Freer to exploit. Here's Cadden. There's Richard Tate, who will be making way. He's got the corner there done.
Yeah, right below, as you can see, it just took a little nick.
Better little spell this for the Steelmen. Just in the last few minutes. Motherwell's fourth corner of the piece. It's Cadden again. This time McLaughlin with a clean pair of hands. Milinkovic wanted that early. He's going to get it too. Naismith burrowing forward as well. There's Godinho and Lafferty. Lafferty back to Milinkovic. Ball settles for him. Comfortable enough for Carson.
He's finding those little spaces in front of that Motherwell back four, though, isn't he? Controlled strike, but straight to the goalkeeper.
Campbell. Tanner. It's the overlap from Tate, who's about to come off. Lafferty holding off Dunn. Pinched back by McHugh. Bowman. It's opened up a bit for Ryan Bowman. Catch it though.
Crucial touch from Suter. Took the pace off it. Cochrane going the wrong man. Sets up Bowman. You can see Suter gets that little nick, just takes the pace off that ball, makes it much easier for McLaughlin.
Randall. Adow. Well by Dunn. There's Suter. Another opportunity here for John Souttar. Well, there were options for him as well. Souttar, it's nosebleed territory there. Here's the change for Motherwell. Meantime, and Elliot Freer is ready for action. Here comes Tate with 12 and a half to play.
Just wonder what they'll do if Cadden will go to right back now, because I can understand putting Freer on, because there's been times in this second half and they've not been up the park enough, Motherwell, but when they get it there, they've got a chance to get it that back three, and he can certainly run with the ball.
The replay date for this is Wednesday week, the 14th of March at Tynecastle. Here's Cochrane. A similar game, not just in the scoreline, to the one at Pittodrie yesterday. Aberdeen and Kilmarnock fought out a one-each draw.
We said it would surprise you if it might take a replay. Certainly, sets and managers, they're looking for a hero right now. Somebody step up to the plate.
If you score now, you fancy you're in the semis, don't you? In a game like this. The overlap from Cadden. And Hughes left it.
Well, we know what happened first half. Clearly a shout from McLaughlin on that occasion. Experience of Hughes leaves it.
And now Motherwell are a little bit stretched at the back here. Keeper is blocked off. Milinkovic. Cedric Keeper is booked.
Certainly turned it, hasn't he, Milinkovic? Whether it's staying high, whether it's dropping in those pockets, getting it, men drawing the free kick here. Certainly helped Hearts turn around this tie so far.
Yeah, he has, Milinkovic. Cochrane over the free kick. 10 to play. Lafferty made his move, but it's too close to Trevor Carson. Campbell holding off Naismith. Draws the foul. Well, that's a cheap booking for Stephen Naismith, a man with oodles of experience.
Certainly involved, certainly up for it. Just a few tussles. Played his part in the equaliser, now got himself booked. I think a little bit more experience, get yourself away from there.
Not one of those who would miss the replay if booked. And Carl McHugh of Motherwell's the only one who would. Or indeed, the semi-final should. And we'll get there today. And there's still time for heroes. Charles Dunn. That's clever. Good run by Elliot Freer. Didn't quite have the cross to match though. Campbell out to Cadden. What can he conjure up here?
Oh, I had McHugh at the edge of the box. Can see him holding his head in his hands. McHugh knew he was free. Cadden, brilliant play from Campbell to pick him out. If he'd just got the head up and spotted McHugh, he was in a great position.
Craig Tanner this time, in swinger coming up. Breaks back towards Freer, it's McHugh who got the shot away though. First time from Freer, away by Lafferty. McHugh, or Bowman, we know he wants to mix it, but so does Christoph Berra. Cadden under pressure from Milinkovic, who's found Adao, who's found Cochrane. Milinkovic, Adao to Suter. Godinho. It's the keepers. It's Cochrane. Goes Lafferty, keeper came off his line. Lafferty spotted that.
Yeah, I totally understand why he tried it. Obviously got one eye. Carson coming out, good ball again. Cochrane. Carson was on his way out, but just can't get it over him. Kyle Lafferty.
And Craig Levein was the younger player in the Hearts defence in that '86 Scottish Cup final alongside Brian Whittaker, Walter Kidd and Sandy Jardine, who was 37 at the time. Player of the year that season at the age of 37. The late, great Sandy Jardine went on to co-manage Hearts with Alec MacDonald. Craig Levein was just 21 at Cup final. Another free kick, McHugh upended by Adao, who I think is going to be booked here, and he'll miss the replay or the semi if Hearts win this one today. He's had an excellent second half. Jackie Madao, well known from the Swiss club Sion. Billy Dodds.
Well, he's used to a booking and studs it up and catches him. Definite yellow. He's had a few since he's joined Hearts.
That's 5 in 6 games. And Craig Tanner over the Motherwell free kick here. Final 5 minutes. Keepray wins it. It's done! Well, McLaughlin probably the calmest man in Fir Park.
Yeah, the two centre halves. Well done now playing left back with the effort. Decent effort. Just can't get any pace on it after Keepray wins the initial header.
If he catches that any better, Motherwell might have been in the semis. Hear that, more flush off the face of Carl McHugh. There's Freer. Oh, it comes off Hughes, away by Berra. It is McHugh. Oh, what a goal! A cup classic from Carl McHugh, who might just have sent Motherwell into the semis. A semi-final. He won't be able to play it. An outstanding goal from the man from Donegal.
Well, he's known as a defensive midfielder, but you want to win a cup tie, and they've not won it yet, but you win it in this fashion. Berra gets the head, that's a lovely take. He's in there before Cochrane, but then to hit the volley, that's sweet. McLaughlin gets a left glove to it. Freer just sends it in, as Motherwell have been doing all game. Just put the cross in, let Hearts deal with it. The header comes in. What a touch that is. What a hit that is. Brilliant from Carl McHugh, really is.
There's been some amazing goals in this season's Scottish Cup. That is another. Motherwell are 3 minutes plus stoppage time away from the last 4, and a second semi-final of this season. Well, Hearts, I think it's fair to say, have been the better team since the interval, and that is a sickener for them. It's a change here for Hearts as they look to level again, and Aaron Hughes has been replaced by Danny Amankwa, the Danish winger, formerly of Copenhagen. He hasn't got much time to try and rescue it. Bowman nodding it out to Main. The referee stopped it because there's a head knock.
It's better, isn't it, up there?
Here it is.
It's got a sore one, head right back into the back of Tanner. Big lad, pick himself up, get on with it. Try and save his team. 2 minutes to go.
Well, here it is again. Carl McHugh. He steps up to the plate, does the skipper.
I think it's the initial first movement. I mean, Cochrane's on his toes, but Hughes on the move. He's on the move to take a touch like that on the chest and pop it up to hit the volley, and then you've still got to, you know, connect with the volley, and he catches it sweet.
Well, they're almost back at Hampden. Keith Lasley biting his nails there, Billy.
As you do, as a coach and a manager. Minute to go.
Both he and Stevie Hamill hanging up their boots. Hamill did play a part of this season. What a moment for Carl McHugh to score his first of the campaign in a Scottish Cup quarter-final. It's the final minute. Is there a twist in the tail still to come? A couple of changes being made, and Andy Rose is going to come on for Motherwell. Michael Smith will come on for Hearts. Is it Connor Randall's being withdrawn for the visitors? And the Motherwell changes. Normally the player who's furthest away from the touchline. So no Liverpool player takes his seat for stoppage time. That's Andy Rose, who's going to come on. There's Tanner, who's coming off for the Steelmen, and Andy Rose comes on. Michael Smith on for Hearts. It's injury time now, just about to have that confirmed. Well, the all-important stoppage time is 3 minutes. Oh, that looked like it came off a hand there. And it's Adao. It's held on to by Carson. 3 minutes of stoppage time has been confirmed below us. Well into that now.
Definitely come off the hand, but he was too close.
Yeah.
That'd have been eventful for Rose just on the pitch.
Indeed. Samankwa. Adao. Looking for Lafferty, whose penalty brought Hearts back on terms. Keep my top on if I was there, to be honest with you.
Or just daft boys.
When you're on the brink of winning a cup quarter-final, perhaps you don't feel the cold. It's the rain that's beginning to tumble down now.
It's a kick in the teeth, guards, because they've been the better team second half, and they looked the team that probably could go on and win the tie, and suddenly McHugh produces that piece of brilliance.
Rose heads forward, here's Main. Hearts playing the game where they want to be playing it. Motherwell down deep inside Hearts territory. Hearts needed up the other end of the park. William Hill, Scottish Cup man of the match, Billy Dodds.
there was no standout performance. A lot of players out there giving everything. Milinkovic turned it for Hearts second half, or you thought that. Main was exceptional first half for Motherwell, but McHugh's battled away full half at full match, and you know, just for that goal you have to award him the William Hill Scottish Cup Man of the Match. Carol McHugh.
And here goes Main.
He had to get that one right, I doubt, because he's lunged, he's got the ball, well, there's no complaints, but my word, on a booking going into that was crazy or just pure frustration.
It might not matter a lot. Man of the match, Carl McHugh, who appears to be the match winner.
You're on a booking, you go there. Whoa. Got a bit of Main forcing on the ball.
Motherwell are through to the semi-finals. A second semi-final of the season. And Stephen Robinson will guide the Steelmen back to the National Stadium. Carl McHugh's first goal of the campaign, with just minutes left on the clock, has sent Motherwell back in to a semi-final of a major National Cup competition. Curtis Main gave them the lead early on, cancelled out by Lafferty's penalty after Naismith was upended by Kieprek. But Hearts are out of the Scottish Cup, and it is Motherwell who progress and join Celtic in the last four, the draw for which will be made later on today. A bad day at the office for John McLaughlin in the end up. A hard-fought victory for Cedric Kieprek and Motherwell. Full-time score at Fir Park. A dramatic conclusion. Ends Motherwell 2, Heart of Midlothian 1.
Captain Carl's first goal of the season. He doesn't strike too often, but when he does, he seems to make them a bit special. Unstoppable on his right foot, generally the standing foot it seems for the central midfielder, but that flew past John McLaughlin, and Craig Levine's team are down and out of the Scottish Cup. And it's Stephen Robinson's side which marches on into the semi-finals of the competition, just one step away from a double cup finals season. Michael Stewart and Stephen Thompson.
What a goal, you know, a goal worthy of winning the tie, there's no question of it. But you know, Hearts will be so disappointed because, you know, that second half had turned on its head. As dominant as Motherwell in the first half, Hearts were as dominant in that second half, and perhaps in the, you know, the last 10 minutes, you know, Motherwell had started to steady the ship a little bit, but Hearts would have been feeling like they were the team in the ascendancy, and they were the ones that were potentially going to get a winner. But Carl McHugh's strike, what a goal! And as you said, on his weaker foot as well, worthy of winning any game.
The technique's absolutely outstanding. To take the control in his chest, he did well to win that second ball initially, but then to control it in his chest and put a volley in the top corner. It's moments like that we want in the Scottish Cup, and to win a quarter final like that is a great moment. The game was evenly poised. First half for me, Motherwell better side by a mile. Credit Hearts, they had a reaction at half time. They made a change, bringing on Milinkovic. It worked. Naismith was getting closer to Lafferty. Lafferty obviously hit the post. He has the header. A couple of opportunities in that second half, and you know, there it's there. I mean, it's just so sweet. It's such a sweet hit. The irony, of course, is he can't play in the semi-final. You know, he's just put Motherwell into the semi-final, and because of his booking, which was a daft booking to get on the halfway line in the first half,
I don't think he'll care a jot at that moment.
I'd be raging if I was missing the semi-final.
You'd be raging, you just stuck at the top corner.
I'd be happy about that. I'd certainly celebrate with a wee glass, but then when I woke up tomorrow morning, I'd be
he'll
like,
he'll be disappointed, there's no doubt about that. But I mean, look, he's the captain. He's put his teammates into the semi-final, and a hard-fought, closely fought contest between two sides. And it's his wonder goal that's the difference. He'll be delighted of it. Of course there's going to be a tinge of disappointment that he misses in the semi-final, but he wouldn't swap that goal to get you know, the chance of playing the semi. There's no doubt about that. There's a fantastic goal, as I said earlier, worthy of winning any game. And Motherwell, you know, looked as if in the middle part of the season that it was going to tail off for them. January's come about, and since that winter break, they've come storming back. Really, a lot of credit to go to Motherwell.
Let's hear from a couple of Motherwell heroes. They're on the way to the Scottish Cup semi-finals. Here they are with Chris.
Nice and close. Yeah, chaps, congratulations first and foremost. Let's go to the man of the moment, though, Carl. Have you ever dreamed of scoring a goal like that?
No, I've hit the bar in the post a few times this year and I've been due one, but I've never scored a goal like that. I wasn't expecting something like that, so I just hit it and hope for the best. Thankfully it went in.
Was it the classic of as soon as it left your foot you knew?
I don't know, when it leaves my right foot I'm never too confident, to be honest, but I thought I caught it quite well and thankfully it went in, and it's all a bit of a blur after that.
Curtis, it was a very impressive first half from Motherwell, a little bit trickier in that second.
Yeah, obviously they were going to come out. We thought we dominated in the first half, and obviously they had to come at us and try and get level, so we were expecting it, and the boys dug in brilliantly second half, and I think we got what we deserved.
It looked like a really hard shift out there.
Yeah, it was all over the park. I think everybody was fantastic, and for a skip to come up with a goal like that to win it, deserves to win any game.
I would imagine if you guys show that fighting spirit, that desire, you fancy your chances against anyone in the semi-finals.
Yeah, do you know, that's what we've done all season. Like when we've won games, we've played with that intensity and work rate, and that's when we're at our best, when we're right on top of teams and pressing them. And you know, we'll fancy our chances. We've been there before. We've won a semi-final already this year, and we'll be looking to get to another final now.
Carl, you will not be surprised to know that you are the William Hill Scottish Cup man of the match. I will let your teammate do the honours. Well done, guys.
Well done, mate. Top class. Well done, pal.
Cheers, guys. Well done.
They've got there in the end, Motherwell. They dominated the first half, but a real comeback from Hearts in the second half. And as Michael and Stephen have been saying, it did look as if it was the Jambos who were going to go on to win this one. What does this mean for the rest of their season now, Michael, the fact they're out of the Cup?
Well, I said before the game, this was a huge game for Hearts in the context of what's going to happen now. You know, they're out of the quarter-final. They've got Kilmarnock and Motherwell breathing down their neck. Yes, there's been a big upturn since Craig Levine's come in, but in this last wee chunk of games, it's now 7 games, they've only won 2, they're out the Cup. You know, it's a disappointing little spell since the January break. Since they've come back, they've not hit the heights. Motherwell, on the flip side, they have come storming back. So for Hearts, it's a huge game that has turns things slightly. What is there to play for? They've got to go and try and challenge for Europe, but their run of form is not great now.
They've got to just try and get the top 6. I don't see them getting a European spot.
Two sides to every story, of course, and Stephen Robinson is such a determined character as a manager,
Yeah.
and I think, Stephen, that shines through in the way his team performs.
It does, and he mentioned when they were having that spell where they weren't winning before Christmas, that had gone out of the side, that aggression, that enthusiasm. Well, it was back today in spades, and I think it has been back since the January window. They thoroughly deserved to go through because of that goal. And it was a closely fought tie, as we thought it was going to be. But, you know, as the players said there, another semi-final. They've already beaten Rangers once and won, so why not?
Stephen and Michael, thank you very much indeed. Sports Sound continues, of course, on BBC Radio Scotland. Rangers against Falkirk kicking off at 4:15. Then it is the semi-final draw in the competition. Motherwell are there.
And good afternoon to you from North Lanarkshire. It's an awkward one for John McLaughlin.